Oliva Babsy Grange, Minister of Culture, Gender Affairs, Entertainment and Sports, is making this call.
Domestic abuse as well. We must commit to stop using violence as a way to discipline our children. It's time we decide as a nation that we will stop beating our picnic. We must end all acts of violence and abuse in our homes, in our communities, and in our country.
The minister went on to say that
a UN report on the violent life events that many women experience estimated that overall 35% of women worldwide have experienced either physical and or sexual violence. This is in keeping with the findings of the local Women's Health Survey, which found that 1 in every 4 women in Jamaica has been slapped, beaten, thumped up with fists, pushed, kicked, attacked with a weapon, or threatened with a weapon by her male partner. We also know that the violence doesn't have to happen. It is not inevitable. Madam Speaker, we have seen a significant decline in violence against women in some countries. For example, in the United States, domestic violence against adult women went down by 64% between 1993 and 2010. How did they do it? By implementing a number of measures, which we have also adopted into our 10-year National Strategic Action Plan to end gender-based violence.
the minister also spoke about national shelters for women who want to leave abusive relationships.
We have seen a significant decline in violence against women in some countries to establish the national shelters. And we have been working hard to get this done. With the budgetary support of the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, we have purchased 3 properties to be transformed into national shelters. And the first property, Madam Speaker, after significant refurbishing and reconstruction, has been transformed into a safe and comfortable facility to house women who are victims of abuse and their children. We are now open and ready to take our women in who are being abused. The facility will accept clients even while we continue to receive donations to make it more comfortable and build out our programs to help women to rebuild their lives and get back on their feet. I use this opportunity, Madam Speaker, to read out the 24-hour hotline numbers for women who need the shelter. 876-553-0372 or 876-929-2997. And I read these numbers because I get the calls. I get the calls directly on my cellular phone. And so the more I can promote the numbers where they can call directly and get expert advice and assistance, I do so today. The other 2 properties are now in early reconstruction and or refurbishing stages and will be transformed quickly into safe spaces for women. One is in the east of the island and one is in the western end of the island. So, Madam Speaker, I wish to commend the countless women, the organizations and churches who have over the years provided refuge for women and children in their time of need. I want to thank them all for their continued work to save and improve lives. We know that several women stay in abusive relationships because they are financially dependent on the man. That is why we have made Women's Economic Independence, which is a special program we have now introduced as a priority program. Many women say, boy, I can't leave because I don't have nowhere to go, or I don't have work, or I don't have no money, so I have to stay with him. So we are making efforts to change that. Through this program, we want to equip the women with the skills and other resources to run successful businesses and to be on their feet as independent women. In this regard, we will use the commemoration of the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women to discuss and support women's economic independence. Our local theme for the commemoration is the empowered woman from victim to survivor.
Dr. Angella Burke, the PNP spokesperson on education and training, supported that move.
And that, yes, as we begin or look forward to the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women and begin the 16 days of activism, and as we laud the opening of the shelter and look forward to the other two coming on stream, that we have to really do much more than is currently being done. That we really have all of us to come together in a coordinated, deliberate, and sustained effort to deal with this problem that afflicts our society. And though the shelter is laudable, needed, and long awaited, and we welcome it and applaud it, I think we also have to take a step back and look, because that is at the end of the process or in the middle of the process of abuse. I think we also have to go to the beginning in terms of what are those underlying factors that are producing a society of individuals that behave like this one toward another. And I believe you spoke about the economic independence, which we have found to really be extremely important. But we know that those are not the only factors. You spoke also about beating our children and that propensity to use violence for discipline. We also have to talk about, as a society, how reluctant we are to show love to our children. Because as alarming as the statistics are, that 1 in 4 of our women face interpartner violence coming from our men, we also have to acknowledge that more than half of our families are single-parent households that are led by women. And therefore, as women, we also have to look at what we need to do differently in raising our children, raising our boys, raising our girls, to make sure we are part of the change. And I speak passionately about it because I am a mother of 4 boys. Of 4 boys. And so it is always present in my head about what our contribution can be and should be. And I echo your call to everyone, councillors, members of parliament, the faith-based community, civil society, our CB community-based organizations, everyone, to see this as a current and a real present danger. And for us to not just talk about it, but to do something about it. For us to reach our arms out to make sure that we are partnering with others so that we can reduce the propensity to violence, so that we can find other ways of disciplining our children, so we can find other ways of talking about each other and with each other. Because there is no doubt, Minister, that indeed we need to do something differently so that it can change. That the hotline numbers are 876-553-0372 or 876-929-2997. Minister, I make my own personal commitment, and I know I speak on behalf of the opposition as well, in saying that we are ready to do whatever is necessary to ensure that we can reduce the culture of violence that we have, so that we can reduce the violence that is currently being perpetrated against our women and our girls. And in also doing that, we have to find a way also to lift up our men. We know that the majority of the perpetrators are our men. We know that the violence also, especially the murders and so on, again, the majority of the perpetrators are young males. And so we also have a responsibility to rescue our boys.
I'm Dudley Thompson for Roots FM News and also WDT Media TV. Feel free to like, share and subscribe. And again, thanks in advance and pleasant viewing.